As most of you know, my channel is generally Linux specific or open source specific. I have people that use Windows all the time actually comment on my videos, and it's pretty much the same thing. Why would I leave Windows when it works perfectly? I can get all the applications that I want. Yes, I have to pay for them, but I get everything that I want. Well, because when you own a Windows PC that has Windows on it, you don't own your PC. Don't believe me? That's what we're covering today on eBuzz Central. Today's video is brought to you by OnlyOffice. If you want to go to their website, it's onlyoffice.com. Are you presently running something like a Google Docs or using Microsoft Online? Do you know that all of your emails, photos, and everything they have access to, they can read, they can use for whatever they want? Don't believe me? Go look it up. You don't have that problem with OnlyOffice. It's a secure office and productivity suite. Now, if you scroll down on their website, you've got OnlyOffice Docs, which is collaborative online document editors. You got spreadsheets, documents, presentations, and forms. It's got the highest compatibility with Microsoft Office, easy integration with ready-to-use connectors, and WOPI support and well-documented API. And then you also have OnlyOffice Workspace. Do you have a business? You can run your entire business through OnlyOffice. It's got document, email, CRM, projects, calendar. It's got enhanced security features, including private rooms, LDAP and Active Directory authentication, compliance, and international security standards. And speaking of security, let's go over here and let's take a look at the security real quick. It lets you know we provide a comprehensive range of security tools and services, keeping your data safe on all fronts. Host solutions on premises, encrypt documents and data, customize access settings, and connect authentication services, and manage access rights to protect yourself from unauthorized access, data leaks, and insider actions. Now let's go back real quick. And one of my favorite things I like about it, it's available for Windows, Mac OS, and for Linux. If you use Linux, you can get OnlyOffice. It is a great tool. You can also get it on the Google Play Store for your Android phone or at the Apple iTunes Store for your iPhone. So zip on over and check it out, onlyoffice.com. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. Now, let's get to the video. I had been thinking about making this video as far back as 2 months ago. But then something happened a little under a month ago that really put it on my radar. And once I got through all the Linux that I had on my schedule, I wanted to get this video in. About a month ago, Windows 11 got a big security upgrade. But one of the biggest requirements is they want you to completely reinstall your operating system. Why? Because they have something called Smart App Control, which will completely change the way applications run on your operating system. Now, hear me out. If you don't believe me, I'm going to lay a lot of information on you in this video. Don't just take my word for it. Go look the information up yourself. It's right there for everybody to see, and it's completely blatant what Microsoft is doing. And this is why I use Linux. This is why we call it free as in freedom. And if you come down here, it lets you know right off the bat, Windows 11 users can now look forward to a slew of security updates going forward, including a new feature called Smart App Control. What is Smart App Control, you may ask yourself? Well, Microsoft is going to use code signing along with AI in the Microsoft Cloud. And if they deem that application dangerous, or if they deem that application unworthy of being on Windows, you won't be able to use the application. Hear me again. If they deem this application unworthy, you will not be able to use it on Windows 11. Smart App Control will ship on new devices with Windows 11 installed. Devices running previous versions of Windows 11 will have to be reset and have a clean Windows 11 install for it to be taken advantage of. Are you all hearing this? They're going to make you wipe your system, reset it, reinstall it with the newest version of Windows 11, and then they're going to be able to dictate to you what applications you can or cannot use. Now, what you will have to do is if you install it, you do have the choice to disable it. But here's the kicker. If you want to re-enable it, you will have to reinstall Windows 11 again. Isn't this great? Windows 11 making computing easier, right? No, they're not. They're wanting more control over the operating system. They're wanting more control over your equipment that you've bought, hardware that you have bought. They want complete and utter control over not only what you put on it, but what they approve to run on it. And like I said, don't take my word for it. Go look it up. It's right there for everybody to see. Next, a lot of people had issues installing Windows 11 on computers as new as 2.5 years ago, it would tell you your computer isn't compliant. You know why? Because it doesn't have the TPM 2.0 on your PC. Those of us in the Linux community know what that is. We know that you can take Rufus and create a Windows 11 boot drive without TPM and be able to install it on older hardware. But here's the kicker, guys. 80% of the people out there don't know this. So what are they forced to do? They can't update or upgrade, so they're stuck on Windows 10. That eventually will run out of support, I believe, in the year 2025, when they want to force everybody to Windows 11, when at that time the Smart App Control will be embedded into Windows 11, and then they will still have the ability to dictate what applications you run on your system. Now, a lot of you guys will be watching this video and go, what is TPM? Let's start with Secure Boot. Every system that you get nowadays with Windows 10 or Windows 11 on it has Secure Boot. That means it ships with these digitized keys for Windows only, nothing else, which means the system at that point just wants to boot Windows and there's no other option. Then we come to TPM, which is the Trusted Platform Module. This is where security keys are stored. It also stores security information. For example, if you have a TPM, Windows 10's Credential Storage Manager will store your credentials in the TPM rather than storing those credentials directly on the hard drive with an encryption key tied to your Windows password. Now, the TPM, what happens if you boot an operating system and that system is not the same operating system as the one that you are booting regularly, it won't hand the keys over for the one operating system. Now, I know this may sound strange, but what this basically does is, let's say you wanted to try out Linux. You boot into Linux. You've got Secure Boot and TPM. Everything's working correctly. You go into Linux. You can't access your hard drive on your Windows machine because it's locked down. It's encrypted and locked because the TPM did not release the serial keys to your Linux operating system. So why is it called the Trusted Platform Module? Well, here's where the kicker comes in. Microsoft doesn't want to store your encryption or serialization keys on your hard drive. Where do they put it? They put it on the Microsoft cloud. Now remember, guys, it's not a cloud. It's Microsoft's computer. They keep that on their computer. They don't give it to you. They don't encrypt it and put it on your hard drive so you can have access. But they have access to that key. They got it from the Trusted Platform Module. You don't have it, but they have it. On a computer that you spent money on the computer that you bought, on a computer that you think is yours. It's not. Microsoft controls it. Are you listening to me? If you use Windows 10, Windows 11, this is what you're doing. Microsoft owns your computer. They're going to have all control of the firmware keys over your system and soon have all control over what applications you'll be able to run on that system. So in any case, no matter how you cut it, slice it, dice it about Microsoft, you are a slave to them. Your computer's a slave to them, and so are you. Microsoft is going to dictate how you're going to use your system, and Microsoft is going to dictate what you use on your system. Like I said earlier, don't believe me? Look it up. Now, furthering what I'm saying here, Tumblr, if you remember back in 2018, had an issue, and there was a security issue with the application where it accidentally let some pornography through, I do believe. But Apple immediately removed that app from their phones. Now, I don't agree with what happened with Tumblr. I do understand there are data breaches. I do understand that sometimes bad things can happen. But at the same time, you should, as a company, be able to have a fail-safe in line so you can tell Apple, okay, we're shutting the app down for 24 hours. We're going to find the problem and we're going to fix it. Apple said, no, we're just removing the application. Not only did they remove the application from the store, they removed it from every single device it was on. Now, you're probably saying, good, I had a friend that used to be on the Parler app. If you remember, this was a big app. A lot of Donald Trump fans followed it, this and that and the other. You may not agree with what they said on the app, and there may have been issues with the app. Google, Apple, you name it, everywhere the app was available, not only did they pull it from the stores, they deleted it from the devices they were on. Now, here's my question. If that's my device, I downloaded that application. I want to use that application. But I can't use that application. You know why? Because Apple and Google decided and dictated to me what I was going to have on my phone. If you do not think this is where Microsoft is leading, you are completely fooled. So you ask me that question again. Why would I leave Microsoft and go to Linux? Why would I leave Windows and go to Linux? It's pretty self-explanatory, I would think. The bottom line is this. We are close to a day to where all the applications you're going to run on Windows 11 is going to come from the Microsoft Store. If you don't believe me, sit back and look at the way of Google and Apple. It's self-explanatory. You can see where this industry is going. They're pointing you in the direction of smart app control. We're not going to let any apps we don't trust. So they're going to end up saying the only apps that are trusted come from the Microsoft Store. They're going to force developers to put those apps on their store. Why would Microsoft do that, you say? Because it's working very handsomely for Google and Google Chrome on the Chromebooks. They've almost completely cut out side loading on Chromebooks and on Android phones. They've almost got all of our hardware locked down. If you do not see this and do not understand this, you buy hardware that you don't own. And you ask me again, why do you run Linux? Why do I run Linux? Because I don't want to be caught in this situation where I'm stuck with Apple, Google, or Microsoft. If you guys disagree with me, if you guys think I've went off the deep end and I don't know what I'm talking about, please drop it in the comments below. But if you step back and you look at that phone you're holding in your hand, you look at that Microsoft PC that you're using, it's getting to the point where Microsoft's going to dictate what you can have on your PC, what you can run on your PC, the same way Google and Apple dictates what you can have on that phone that's in your hand. If you get a chance, please zip on over to the eBuzz store and take a look around. If you see something you like, please pick it up. And if there's something you would like to see on the store that's not there, drop us a line. We'll do our best to get it up there for you. Please do me a favor, like, subscribe, and follow my channel. Doesn't cost anything, and if you end up not liking me, you can always unsubscribe. If you like the channel and enjoy the videos that we're producing, you can support us by becoming a member to the channel, buying us a cup of coffee, throwing us a donation on PayPal, or zipping on over to Patreon and becoming a patron to the channel. Those links will be in the description below. Thank you for watching my video, and I will see you in the next video.